Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is May 6, 2025, and this is the Denver Business Bee Podcast. My name is Arica Netterville. I'm your host, and my very special guest today is Lila Veronica. How are you doing?
I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. I have been looking forward the last year of sitting down with you and doing a deep dive, all things consulting and talk about your business. But before we get into all of that, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? Where'd you go to school?
Oh, geez. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio.
Buckeye myself. I'm from Dayton, Hamilton, Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a
yeah.
small world.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a small world. I was
OH.
born in Mercy Hospital.
OH. Ohio.
Yeah.
So, two Ohio girls. I
Uh-huh.
love that. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and I went to school undergrad at Wright State in Dayton. Got a master's in environmental policy at Bard College in New York. Did some consulting for a number of years, doing environmental consulting, and actually got into marketing and sales in that world because I'm just a natural saleswoman somehow. So, and then I went on for doctoral work at Ohio State. So I have a few degrees, and I don't use any of them.
And when did you come to Colorado? How long
I
have you
came
been
to
here?
Colorado in 2014.
Okay, and been here ever since?
The second day here, I decided to move here.
Okay,
I was here 2 months later.
okay.
So I basically sold everything, packed up, left my career, sold everything, packed up everything that I had left, and came to Denver, and I knew nobody. I did not have a home because it was the time when everybody was in influx. It was very hard to find something from afar. And I had no job.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm doing this.
But you knew where you wanted to be.
I knew, somehow, some way I knew this place.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, when I was here, everybody was nice, happy,
Yeah.
into activities, doing things, had something cool going on, and it was sunny almost every day.
Yeah. Colorado and the Denver metro area is a very welcoming place. People will want to know you, get to know you, do stuff with you. It's easy to make friends here. I have made the best friends in the chambers, in networking, at karaoke. So I'm just as grateful as you are, and I've been here almost 3 years now, and you could not pry me away from Colorado. I am in love with Denver Metro, and I'm just as ecstatic as I could be, as you are too, to be here. And it's my forever home, and I just couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
It's wonderful. I do agree with you that it's a good place to do business. I often tell people from other places, I say, Denver's a great place to do business because people are so, welcoming, but too generous with sharing resources.
Yeah.
And I started my business in Denver. And without Denver and all the resources and the people and the support, I don't know if I'd be where I am.
Yeah. The people of Denver are also, and you left this one out, very curious. They want to get to know you. They want to know what you came here for, what you're doing, why. So I've experienced a lot of that too. The who and the what and the when and the why. So now we're going to move into your business a little bit. And when did you start the consulting business as a high-level business coach?
2017.
Okay.
I did not mean to become a business coach.
Okay.
Business coach by accident, just because I've sold so much.
Uh-huh.
At the time, I had started my business actually teaching mindful movement.
Okay.
Teaching a posture system, how to walk, sit, stand, move through space, so that you have better leadership skills, by just incorporating the body piece. So at the time, I was doing so well, and I was charging about like 10 to 20 times what my colleagues were charging. And so I had a bunch of people asking me, how are you doing it, right? And I had been going through my own, trainings and marketing and coaching and sales, and I had hired my own, private coach, and I had joined group programs and taken courses, and I was really diving in. And so I was having success, and so people kept asking me, how are you doing it? So I just thought, I'll teach them, 90-day little program, thinking I'll teach everybody what I'm doing. And I'm teaching the same thing 8 years later.
That's incredible. One, to have longevity. Two, to love what you're doing to where it doesn't feel like work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blessed with good clients is what it is, really.
Absolutely. What sets you apart from other business coaches?
I incorporate the body piece, which is a little bit sometimes difficult for me to explain, but our presence matters more than what we say.
Yeah.
Right? We know that when we talk about it. Our posture dictates our mood, right? Lifted up, I said, oh, you, as we were walking in, you got good posture, the way you walk is strong and elevated and lifted, and that matters. It impacts things. So I help people with posture and presence and breathing and just some simple tools that impact the way that others perceive them, that build trust, authority, right? The way we stand. I train speakers, for example, in business as a marketing strategy to grow the business, not paid speaking, but I teach how to speak to build your audience and make more impact in the world. And in order to do that, we have to have a certain kind of posture. So I help people with strategy in business, for sure, sales and marketing, messaging, and all the things. But bringing in the individual body piece beyond just mindset, because a lot of people do mindset work, which is beautiful, it's great. But if we don't pair like posture, if you say I'm an amazing person, I'm an amazing person, I'm an amazing person, but you have a poor posture of a depressed person, it doesn't take. Like the brain doesn't change. So that's the biggest differentiator is I help people bring themselves into their business.
Something happened to me in business. I've been, of course, most of you know, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric for 25 years. And I'm now in restoration, and doing a career shift at 50 has been woo! But when I first started, it was layers and levels, moving from supervisor to manager to general manager to operations manager, on and on and on. I realized, for me, putting this on every day is like a shield. And what it does, it makes people treat you a certain way that you want to be treated in business and in the grocery store line, at the thrift store, wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing. I do get treated differently than other customers or people because I am put together. It takes time to, do your morning toilet in the morning. And once that's all on, that's where my confidence comes from. I've always been a very confident person in that regard. Female leadership is really important to me. So you being CEO, boss of your own life is just something for me that I could just take a straw and go and take all of that in. When you are doing your business coaching, and it is a businessman or CEO man versus a businesswoman and a CEO woman, what are those differences and nuances that you're seeing when you're communicating and coaching them?
I love that you said when you're communicating, because that's the key factor. So my doctoral work was actually on public participation, stakeholder involvement, collaborative decision making. So basically, how do you get people together to communicate in a way so you have a win-win-win, right, for a project? So I've been really a scholar of communication in a way, whether it be body communication, right, or words or all of that. And so I've studied a lot of differences between men and women in communication. Okay, so one of the biggest things is asking questions for women how they feel, and asking questions of men of what they think. Okay. Giving men gratitude. And giving women extra respect. Now here's why. There's scientific research on what kind of words trigger what kind of hormones. The feel-good hormones in men and the feel-good hormones in women are a little bit different.
They are completely different.
And words can trigger hormones. So when you know that, and I do, I can support men and women differently. It's so simple when you know it.
But it sounds so complicated. It does. And and it's a part of your business that other business coaches and business people probably struggle with. One, how do men and women like to communicate? Is it phone? Is it email? Is it text? Everybody's different. So one, you're finding out their communication preferences, and then what to invoke when you are talking with them. Even today, some of our CEOs and business women and owners, we think with our hearts first and then our head, and men think with their head and then the heart. So it's very different. That communication struggle is different, and getting to know someone, especially when you're having a meeting for the first time and you're setting up business and wanting to do the proposal and wanting to get everything that you do across. How do they want to receive it? How do they want to hear it? How are they going to be most receptive to it? So those are some of the challenges that today's business people don't. You can lose a deal just by making someone feel uncomfortable.
It's true. This is something people ask me often, like, well, what's the best way? Should I do email? Should I do, all these different ways of communication?
Mm-hmm.
And what I always say, because I have the capacity to do it all, like I can do an email and I can do a text and I can do a LinkedIn message.
Sure.
To me, it's not that hard to do all that. So the same thing, what you said is meet people where they are. Where do they like to communicate?
And there's nothing wrong with asking. What's your preferred method of communication?
What's your preferred method? And if you often can tell based upon what they're doing if you're already in multiple communications, but if not, you ask. I just actually have a new client yesterday who signed on. She asked me, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Oh, okay.
And she said, is this the best way? I said, well, if that's the best way for you, it's fine, but I also check these other platforms because I do. It's part of my business.
Sure.
That's what I do.
Sure.
So, but I do like, I have found that men tend to like email. And when one of my clients in particular has my can text me, they feel closer and they like it.
Yeah.
Men don't really text me.
Yeah.
But they'll email me. But a woman will text me. They have my number.
Yeah.
I give it to them, but that's what I find, that men tend to like email better.
Yeah. What were some of the challenges you faced in 2024 as a business owner? It was a hard year for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I wintered in 2024 in Florida, South Florida.
Okay.
No
shaming you for laying on the beach working.
Yeah. But I will tell you, I was there for about 5 months, and about a month and a half in, my heart was yearning to come back to Colorado. So that was probably the hardest part of the year for me, was that actually, like, I was back in Colorado and by summertime and had a great rest of the year, but almost half of the year I spent in Florida and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I thought I would. I thought, we're going to winter in Florida. It's going to be great. We're going to do this, beach thing. Yeah. I'm not a beach girl.
Living 30 years in Florida, Tampa, Florida. One, it is a Republican state, so it can be combative feelings sometimes. Doing the smallest things, like I want to do this or I want to do that. There's always somebody to say this or that, and then things are very exuberant down there. It's the cost of everything is just really gone crazy. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But yes, last year was a political year, and a lot of businesses really struggled with people not wanting to make a decision. It was a very uncomfortable year. A lot of people held on to the purse strings. There was so much uncertainty. We didn't know what was going on. And here we are in May, and we know why we were feeling all that uncertainty. What is on the horizon for 2025 with your business?
Well, I will say about that uncertainty. So I spent a bunch of years studying policy. So the problems of the world. Sure. Basically, right? And the solutions. And then after coming to Colorado and getting more into like mindfulness and yoga and all that stuff, I started studying cycles. So we're in a cycle of death and rebirth of sorts in our nation. And so I think that we're still going to see a lot of changes.
I agree.
A lot of changes in all the systems, like the institutional systems, right? The education, financial, right? We don't even know if we're going to have money. Like, money's probably going away. I don't know when. right? Maybe
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't really know what's
It's
going to
hard.
happen.
It's very hard.
Education is changing, so all of the systems are changing. So my perspective on this, for if you're in business, is number one, take care of yourself. Learn how to not trigger stress chemicals.
Yeah.
Learn how to have community, right? If you're in fear, talk to somebody. Like, there's people out there who will help you.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, make sure you stay abreast of the market trends.
Yeah.
Because your industry, if it's changing, you need to know.
Yeah.
That's really what's going on.
Seems like everything's fluctuating.
Everything's fluctuating. But what I know is that from a cycle standpoint, if you look back historically, every time there's been struggles, there's been people who have thrived. And you can be one of them.
In the chaos.
Yes, because if you keep yourself cool-headed and you understand what's going on market trends in your industry, and you might have to make some shifts. You might have to, make some changes. I mean, we all do have to at some point. 2020 was a big shift for people.
It was.
A lot of people had to make shifts, and a lot of people did it successfully, and some people did it, it was difficult. So that's
Y2K!
Oh, Y2K, right? I mean, we could go on and on. So it's like, okay, stay cool-headed, stay cool-minded, have community to help you out, ask for help when you need it, and follow market trends, make the shifts when you need to, because there's going to be people struggling, and there's going to be people thriving.
Yeah.
And we can be the people who thrive and help the people thrive.
Yeah.
That's my perspective. I have a very Renaissance mindset.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever's falling apart, we are rebuilding better.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And then what would be your advice for someone who's possibly wanting to get into business coaching? What would you say to that young entrepreneur who's thinking about that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, number one, from a marketing strategy, if you want to be a business coach, get into speaking. Speaking is the fastest path to conversion because you build expertise fast, especially if you're on live in-person stages. Like, that's where it's like, oh, you're the person. So that would be the if I would have started speaking 2 years earlier, I would have.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, decide what part of business coaching you really like. So I specialize in high-ticket sales. So I help people package and price their offerings, all their gifts. Maybe they have multiple things that they're good at, right? They have all these things that they're good at and they want to help people. So we package them and price them at a higher level. We attract higher level clients, right? Message, all that kind of stuff. So I focus on high-ticket sales. Other coaches, business might focus on selling online courses, right? A business coach might focus on more of the profit margin area of your business. So figure out what part of business really lights you up. Messaging lights me up, high ticket lights me up, and sales light me up.
Wow.
Right? So you can focus and then also, who do you like to help? I help a lot of beginner business owners or business owners who have a business but they've never sold high ticket in a certain area. So it's sort of like a newer thing. So I love kind of being that support for the newbies. I've helped a lot of people start coaching businesses and consulting. So that's what I would say is pick an area. So I love starting new. If you want to help people who are more developed in their business, maybe you want to people have 50 employees, or maybe they're at 1 to 3 million. There's so many ways to choose. You can help people in business, in the healthcare world, in the fitness world, right? There's all these different areas, in the real estate world, right? And there's business coaches who help people in your industry. Yeah. So I know that was kind of a lot, but
but no, this is the information they're wanting.
Yeah, pick a specialty and just love it. So, I have spoken on my 8 steps to create a high ticket offer hundreds of times.
Wow.
And every time I do it, I love it.
This next question is going to be hard. I have a lot of business coach friends in my network. Some of them have been dawdling on for years. What would you say as a successful high-ticket business coach and consultant to a business coach that's maybe 5 years into their business and they just feel like nothing's really happening? They're not getting any traction. They're not getting any new clients. They're not really... What would you say to them?
Number one, my guess would be that they haven't mastered sales. Sales is the skill to master in business. Like, I don't care what you're in.
Sure.
I mean, I've been selling Cheetos since I was a kid on the playground, okay? So, like...
Oh, my God, I love you so much. Oh,
I'm not kidding. I've been a hustler. I've had what they call a side gig my entire life, okay? I, like, anything and everything. I had, like, a little nail machine I got at the thrift store once to do up my friend's nails. Like, buffing it in high school. It's like $15. I'll do your acrylic nails. So anything and everything. So sell, and all will be well. Number one. If you're scared to sell, if you're not good at sales, that's the space to play in first. Okay? The second thing is exposure, speak more. You got to be in front of people. Like, if you're trying to do like the one-on-one, like find a client here, find a client there, and find a client there, you need to go somewhere and find 10 clients.
Yeah.
Right?
That's everything.
So that's probably the two pieces.
Okay.
And then the other piece is in terms of the offer, it may not be specific enough. Like I just said, it's like, I'm like high ticket offer sales coach. Now, do I do other stuff in business?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I help people with LinkedIn, speaking, and all that stuff. But I don't position myself as a speaker coach. I don't position myself as a LinkedIn coach. I position myself as all these things we're going to do is going to sell high ticket. So if you haven't yet chosen the thing, and you don't know what your thing is, like, there's people you can talk to.
That's the thing to find it.
Yeah, and if there's people who will help you, and for free.
Yeah.
And we help you pay people, coaches and all that, but you can also get people see you for your gifts better than you see yourself.
Right.
The only reason I'm a high ticket offer coach is because I had a mentor.
Right.
And he said to me one day, he said, nobody knows what you do.
Yeah.
And that hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, but I'm so good at it.
You're spinning your wheels, you're trying to figure out, you're like, I know I could do this.
I had clients, people were paying me, I was making money.
Wow.
But still it was unclear, and he helped me figure out that's what I do.
It's so funny when you said that. When I was little, this is so good. We had a store called Billy's Market, and it was on the way to school. And my mom would always give us lunch money, and I would take one of my dollars of my lunch money, and they had penny candy. Now and later it's bubble gum. Everything was a penny. That dollar got you 95 pieces of gum, of candy. The other 5 cents he used for tax. I would take that bag, and it was heaping every day, 5 cents a piece of candy, 4 cents on each penny I'm making. I would come home, my mom was like, I was cleaning your room. How did you get all that money? Where's all that money at? There'd be $20, $30 in a 13-year-old's little dresser drawer. And my mom was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm selling penny candy. She's like, well, where are you getting the money? I said, well, I used one of my dollars, and then once I used that, I never had to use any of my money again. She was like, oh my gosh, you're just a little entrepreneur. So even then, just like you, I was figuring out little things to do. How fun is that?
It's a pretty good ROI.
Yeah, sales is my thing. I love doing sales. But here's the thing. I know the formula. If people don't have a want or a need, you're not relevant to them. Whether that's business, air conditioning, penny candy, consulting, you have to overcome that and figure out the why, and then what is it that I do need to sell to you? What is it that you need? So overcoming those challenges can be very difficult. For me, I've always believed, and I'm a firm believer, in a soft sale. It doesn't matter what this name tag is, where I'm working, and what I'm doing. If they don't know me, if they don't like me, they're not going to do business with me. Period. And that's why I'm successful, because people like me. Right. Some people can't stand me, but that's how we want it. That's to digress.
It's good. I had someone say once that I'm soft but direct.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to be.
Yeah.
In sales.
And I think your fashion sense, this is the way I dress on the weekends. You got Guns N' Roses, suit jacket, little plaid, and combat boots. And I'm so in love with you. And that is so fabulous, because I wish I could dress like that Monday through Friday and just feel just as confident as I do as this. But when I'm singing karaoke on the weekends, I'm that little alternative chick. So
I feel very 1995.
Yes, you're killing it. So we're going to switch from our interview questions and go into the next 2 questions that I ask every guest on my show. If little Lila could go back to her 15-year-old self, what would be the thing that you would say to prepare you for where you're at right now in this seat?
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Really. It's the first thing that comes up. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And, I would say I've believed in myself probably more than most people believe in themselves.
Yeah.
I've done a lot. I've gone for it. I've juiced life.
Yeah.
But I have allowed others at times to infiltrate my mind and make me doubt myself.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Yeah, so believe in yourself. You know yourself. You know yourself.
We're going to switch to what would you want to leave the legacy at 80 years old? What would be your legacy that you want to leave for your family, your friends, your business colleagues, who you were, what you did?
Yeah. I want my legacy to be that everybody learns that they deserve to feel good, that they don't have to suffer.
That's a good legacy to leave.
Yeah. That's really my message is you deserve to feel good everywhere in your life. You deserve what you want because you want it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Give us all the handles, websites, emails, telephone numbers to call and get a hold of you, because maybe you're a little stagnant in your business. Maybe you don't have that momentum or that traction or that trajectory. She can help you out with that. So.
Your little Lila spark, darling. So I love social media, friends. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm Lila Veronica everywhere, Lila, Lila Veronica. You can also find me at thelilaveronica.com. And I would offer, is it okay to give a free sales training?
Absolutely.
So I have my free sales training I give out to everybody because I want everybody to be able to sell, and all will be well. And you just go to saleswithlila.com.
Yeah.
And you'll download my 7-step system, and it'll give you some great questions, like you were saying, to help people figure out their why.
Yeah. What do you think about coming back next month for CBBN and doing a 10-minute presentation to our group?
I would love to.
Perfect. We're here at beautiful Serendipity Labs in downtown Denver off of Waweta and 18th. This is a great place for a co-working space. You can have a meeting, you can have a full-on production of all the things in your business, presentation-wise, hooking into their media room. There's huge conference rooms. Maybe you want to have some off-site interviews and not cause chaos in your business. Come on over to Serendipity Labs, talk with Morgan and Cassie, and they can get all those reservations made for you, for your events, your functions, your parties, your networking, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And networking tomorrow is Bagels and Business at 8 a.m. here at Serendipity Labs. Free to attend, free breakfast, free coffee, door prizes, and amazing networking in a beautiful co-working space. And you can see that view right behind me. It doesn't get any better than that. And then this Friday at 8 a.m., we have CBBN, the Contractors Business Breakfast Networking Event. We are already 80 reservations strong, so there's going to be HVAC technicians, plumbers, property managers, painters, restoration companies, all different types of trades will be here to network. Free to attend, free breakfast. Our breakfast sponsor for both of those events are Restoration One of West Denver. I want to thank Micah and everybody over there. We're going to have speakers and door prizes. Make sure that you're bringing your business cards. It's going to be a truly exciting event. And then after that, we're all going over to the West Denver Metro Chamber at 11 for a networking luncheon with Philip Brewer and his group. And then from 3 to 7 is the Empowering Women Summit. We're going to be going to that as well tomorrow. So we've got an action-packed Wednesday, lots of networking, making connections, meeting new people, and potential new guests on the show as well. We want to thank William and Friends, William Turner, for creating our beautiful website that launched 2 weeks ago right here in Serendipity Labs. The amount of traffic, It's been really wild. I am so completely over the moon and excited about everybody wanting to look and learn and read and learn more. And then we just won the award for Best New Podcast of 2024 and 2025. We're completely ecstatic. So many wonderful things are going on. Whether you like to watch us on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, you can go to the Denver Business Beat podcast and watch all those past episodes for free right there. We're working on our Apple and our Spotify as we are speaking, so those buttons will be coming active very soon, and you'll be able to watch on those platforms as well. Lila, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. 1, you're fabulous. 2, you're fashionista. 3, I just absolutely love studying in your energy and just being near you. The first time I met you, we were at that Business Alliance networking event.
Speed networking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I love this woman.
I love her so much. And I think we only have, 6 minutes to connect, and then the next person. And we're talking like maybe 100+ people, 6 seconds. And I was like, no, don't leave. And then, so we met, and I have been wanting to get you on the show this entire year. And I'm so happy you were in the area and it was able to work. So
I'm so grateful.
I'm grateful too. So that's been our episode today here, filmed live at Serendipity Labs. We'll see you next week for a new mover and shaker from the Denver metro area. Have a great day. See you in the morning for Bagels and Business.